Can we bring him in? It's our first ever guest doing this live on Foul Territory. The great Adam Wainwright joining us. Wow, this looks tight. But behind the scenes crew putting it together. Wayno, what's going on? Did you hear what AJ just said?
About pitchers?
Yeah, he was like, screw the position players. He's like, I'm paying the pitchers first.
Best athletes on the field, and AJ knows it.
Oh man!
Yeah, I knew that was coming. First of all, where are you driving to? You like going to go through like a drive-through for us and give us your order?
No, I'm not. I'm not driving. I'm parked right now. I don't want to get in trouble or get anybody arrested. I'm on a date right now. I picked my son up from school, and then my wife is going in to do some like cryotherapy and stuff like that. But this is the day before I pitch, so I'm not doing any of that today. I'm just this is our off day too. That's why I committed to do this a few minutes earlier to AJ, and I totally forgot about it. So my bad. But it's our off day. I only get one of these this spring, so I'm enjoying it.
Good for you. I just want to know. Give me the state of Wayno right now, like pitching wise. I know you're going to be fine because you're Team USA. You know, red and white and blue face paint. You know, you're going to flip that high school curveball up there. You know, strike out a bunch of guys. Like, give me the state of you going into your last year. Like, listen, you're one of the all-time Cardinal greats, and nobody gets to end the way that you're going to get to end. Like, this is my last year. But let's just say, like, give me the state of your mindset. Like, this is my last year. Am I going to enjoy everything? What are you going to do?
Yeah, man, I am. And I love seeing these faces, these guys I hadn't seen in a while. But I am going to enjoy every moment. I mean, I one thing I really enjoy is the preparation for each start. The as far as like breaking down hitters and game planning, I love that. I love competing, getting out there between the lines. I'll tell you this: my teammate asked me the other day what the hardest thing about being an older guy in the league is, and honestly, I can say that the hardest thing for me is the want to, as far as like strength training and speed training and doing all these things that I don't really have a whole lot of in the first place, speed or strength. That's the hardest part. You know, for me, if it's just about competing, I want to go out there and beat anybody at any time. But when it's, do I want to push through that fourth set and the 15th rep? I'm like, man, I want to because I want to be able to compete well. But other than that, no, I do not want to. I just like every other guy, I want to go in there and train my buys and my tries and my, get jacked on the bench presses. I want to do that. But I'm doing all these leg and hip exercises and mobility stuff because I want to be great still. And I only have to be great one more time, AJ, so might as well enjoy that too.
30 times a year, brother. 30 times a year, you got to go out there. It's a rough life you pitchers have. Just don't understand. You guys, we always joked, Adam Dunn used to call you guys kickers, right? You guys are special teams players, you starters. You only play, especially now you don't hit. You only play, a quarter of the game, fifth of the game. So you guys are like kickers. But people don't know, Adam, one thing about you, you got a record career. And I'm just asking, I probably won't be the first one, but I want an autographed copy when your record comes out. And I want you to say to my career ERA leader, AJ, not Yachty, I love you, Wayno.
Yeah, true? You got it, man. I'm looking forward to that too. We're going to try to release the album mid-season this year, see what happens. But I'm having fun with it. Just another thing for me to have fun. My wife always points out that I have way too many hobbies. I definitely am a jack of all trades. I definitely am probably not a master of any of them, but I have fun with whatever I'm doing. I try to have the most fun I can. And I'm playing with my daughter. She likes playing guitar and singing, and we love getting together and playing. And writing songs is something that has come sort of natural to me. I'm sort of a romantic, so I've been writing letters for my wife going all the way back to high school. So, I like writing poems and that side of it. That's my girly side, AJ, which is nothing wrong with it.
I'm jealous. Listen, my wife wishes I would write her letters, write her a love song every once in a while. So I'm going to ask you, Adam, can you write me one? And I'm going to copy it in my sloppy handwriting. I'll just slide it under the door and say, I wrote this for you last night, honey. Enjoy.
There might be a business out of that. No?
Yeah.
Todd
I got
Frazier
actually
here,
what you say that I got a good idea about that for you. I think I could write a song pretty quick for you, AJ. Because you know what? Here's what we all know about AJ. AJ is going to tell you what he thinks. And he, at the end of the day, he really cares and wants people to be great. And he's going to tell you what he thinks because he wants you to improve and be better. And that's why he's going to be a great podcast host too, is because he's going to tell you what he wants and what he thinks from the heart. And if you don't like it, he's okay with that. I really think AJ might be thrive off that. But that's a very good trait to have. And AJ rocks that well. That's why he's good on the TV too.
No doubt. No doubt. What's going on, Wayno? Todd Frazier, man. How are you?
The Todd father.
What's going on?
I didn't see you down there because it says Stream Studio over your face right now. But
That's all right. Hey, it's probably better off it's like that. No worries.
Now I see you. I see you, man.
I want
You're a
to
legend. The only guy that could ever throw a bat and hit a home run in the world.
I appreciate that. One up in AJ. That's perfect. That's a good start to the podcast. I appreciate it. I want to talk a little about dad life as well. Like for me, when I retired, I got 3 kids. I was a big believer in now coaching and doing stuff like that and training them the right way. Like, is there something that you're looking forward to next year with the kids and family that, you haven't really done in a long, long time? Like, I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff you got on your mind that you're ready to do.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is just to be present more, just to be with them. Just they've had to miss a lot of things for me. For a while there, we had to, they had to choose what sport they wanted to play because we were gone a lot. And, this season wasn't when we were at home, and this season was, in St. Louis. So we couldn't stay, or we had to stay, or there's a lot of different sacrifices that they had to make to follow me around in my career. So the first thing I want to do is say yes to a lot of different opportunities for them and just try to be there. I definitely want to be a coach or an assistant coach. Probably. I feel like the head coaches always get the brunt of the hours and the rebuttals from the players' families. So assistant coaches don't get yelled at too much. That sounds like my jam. But I definitely just want to be present. I want to make sure that, they're not going to have any wants that they never got to do. There's sports they want to play and activities they want to do they've never been able to because dad's always playing. I can't wait to do that.
No doubt, man. That's awesome.
And Todd, you know what? Todd's always the guy. He's the exception to the rule where you go, if you see the hitter's hip fly out and they start throwing that one hand at the ball, they got no pop. But I swear it seemed like Todd's best and farthest home runs came when he had one hand on the bat, butt flying out into the other, dugout. You think you got him fooled, and then he hits one 12 rows up, and he was perfect for Cincinnati. My gosh, perfect for Cincinnati. So
thank you, man.
Yeah, I'm glad. You could throw a slider to Todd down and away, and then he would swing and miss it by 3 feet, and you're thinking, okay, well, I'm just going to make him try to prove that he can hit that. I'm not going anywhere else. And then he'd put the same swing on it, and somehow he'd still reach it, and he'd hit it for a homer. I just never understood that about you. Amazing stuff.
Thank you, man. You're making me blush. I appreciate that.
Wayno, did he get you? Are you in his book?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wow. He got me one of those Cincinnati right field home runs, though. I don't count that.
I think I got him twice. I think I got you twice.
Yeah, Cincinnati is absolutely been the Achilles heel for me in my career. I'd have a 2 ERA in my career if it wasn't for Cincinnati. I always tell. I'm gonna steal a Lance Berkman quote here because he was quoted years back saying whenever they pressed the red button to blow up Wrigley Field, he wanted to be the one to do it. Well, they've redone that place. That's pretty nice. I feel like the same way for Great American Ballpark, man. Just let me know. I'll be there. Whenever you blow it up, I'll be there. I love Cincinnati. I love, some of the food spots, great golf courses. Love the people there. That stadium is from the devil.
Dude, Wayno, you're trying to get a Skyline Chili endorsement deal right now. Like when you walk into the clubhouse and they got the chili dogs in there pregame for everyone to get sick on before.
Hey, I would take a Grater's ice cream endorsement over that. That's the best in the world right
there. Wayno, Erik Kratz here. Your favorite friend.
What's up, buddy?
I've talked a lot of smack to you about starting pitchers behind your back. at your back. You know, your ERA would be a 2 ERA too if it wasn't for the 3 guys on this show. We all absolutely raked you. So me being 1 for 3.
No,
You're 1 for 3.
No, Wayno and I have had this conversation, and I'm like, all my hits are cutters in, jam shots over the second baseman's head. We've had this conversation. So no, I mean, I might have got hits, but raking is a long ways away from what I did.
If AJ faced me 10 at bats, he's got 10 broken bats. He's definitely got some hits though.
How many knocks is all that I care about? But you are a baseball, like, you're so engaged. You're engaged with every program you're with, PAO, with your kids, with a lot of charities, Bible studies in the morning. You're engaged in baseball too. This is like a super quick question with probably a long answer. Are you a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, you know me about being long-winded, huh, Kratzy? You know what? I don't know. I mean, you know, if this was based on the criteria that was in, like, when I was first coming up, I would say not even close. But the game is a different game now, and I just don't know how many more 200-game winners we're going to even have. You know, I don't know what that is. I know I've done some cool stuff. I know I've still got to do some cooler stuff, but you know, I don't have any Cy Youngs, which probably hurts my case. The problem with that was always, it wasn't my fault. I pitched pretty good. It was always Clayton Kershaw's fault or Roy Halladay's fault. You know, those guys were just better. You know, they were just better than me, and nothing wrong with that, man. I've been second a few times, and second always to someone great. So I can appreciate greatness, and I've pitched with a lot of great guys. But you know, I don't know. As far as in my era, Kershaw, Scherzer, Verlander, Greinke, you know, those were kind of my guys that always pushed me. Those were coming up with those guys, always wanting to one up, you know, one of them all the time. Those are the guys that pushed me. I think probably all 4 of those guys are Hall of Famers. I don't know. It might be a just miss. It might be a just make. I don't know. It might be a veterans committee. It might be a no chance. I have no idea. We'll wait and see. You know, what's cool to me though is that there's a chance. I'm in the conversation, and I think the cool part of that for me is when I got to the end of 2018, I thought I was retiring. If I had retired at the end of 2018, we're not even having this conversation. You know, I'm not even an interesting candidate. So 5 years later, after overcoming some pretty tough injuries, I feel like that's a great accomplishment as it is. And so I feel very blessed in that.
Yes. I don't know if you are either. We'll probably discuss it another time, but I guarantee you're a Hall of Fame person and a Hall of Fame dad, because I've seen it.
I appreciate it, Kratz. Thank you, Ben.
That's good stuff. Hey, I got to go back to 2010, Wayno. Since I wasn't with the team yet. I was still in AAA, but I got to go back to the Yachty Phillips thing, man. I think the Cincinnati fans want to hear about this a little bit. I can see the smile on your face. I want to get in a little more detail about this to fully understand. I know Brandon came out with the quotes, you know, calling all Cardinals bitches, calling, you know, this and that. You know, I hate the Cardinals. Was it you guys must have been talking about that for a couple days leading up to that, and then you see Yachty. Tell me about how Yachty was feeling, because I think he was ready right off Jump Street, man. Let's dive.
Well, yeah, because that article came out the day before.
Yes. Okay.
So, yeah. He said that in the days previous paper. Now he did get one thing right in his interview. He said everything in St. Louis, that's not right. But what he did say that was Pappy's barbecue is delicious. Now, that is delicious. But the problem with that interview was, you know, Brandon was a great player, very tough to play against, incredible second baseman, Gold Glove second baseman, very, very tough out, clutch hitter, great player. But he was just kind of uninformed about St. Louis. And I think, you know, I think one thing that everyone can understand is having hostility towards the guys you're competing against, especially against the really good teams that you're really grinding against, the ones that are fighting with you for that playoff spot to see who goes from your division. I mean, if you like the other team you're competing against every day, we need to have a conversation on my team. You know, that's not right. like the other team you're going to war against. But that shouldn't have anything to do with the city itself. I mean, anyone who's played in St. Louis knows that our city's fans don't suck. You know, our fans are amazing. They get baseball better than any place I've been. You know, I'm a little biased, but I do think they get baseball better than anywhere I've played. And I played in them all, so I've seen it all. We just didn't like the nerve it took to say that in a paper, and then go and tap the shin guard of the guy, that is the most feisty player on the team. What do you expect to happen? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Of course, Yachty has neck tattoos. Of course, he's going to fight you if you call him out.
Listen,
but that brawl itself was wild because there was so much going on. I was kind of in the middle of that for a while, and wherever the wave was taking you was where you were going to go. You couldn't control that at all. You were just going with it. You were going with the flow. And it almost died down before it started. It almost died down. Everything was kind of calming down. And then my old teammate, Chris Carpenter, comes flying in off the top ropes, yelling at Dusty Baker. And then Scott Rowland sees his friend, Chris Carpenter, going crazy, and he tries to stop it. But when people see Scott going for Chris, they feel like they're going to go fight each other. And so it was all out panic, and you saw Cueto kick in and all things, and Chris gets up against the net. Unfortunately, somebody did get hurt bad from that. Jason LaRue never played another baseball game from that brawl. But, that's intense. When you get out there, I know all of y'all have been in those brawls before. When you get into the middle of them, that scrum is a little stronger than you think. You can't really control the action a whole lot.
Yeah, and then you had Dusty Baker and LaRussa. They were like, it was just they just did not like each other. So that was because those two were chirping to begin with, and then you see Scott Rowland kind of black out there a little bit. It looked like he was going after his best friend there, but at the same time, you don't know what happens in a brawl. But for that one, that's the hatred they had towards each other, and that's when I came up with the Reds. It was like, you know what, we play the Cardinals. We want to kill them. We don't want anything to do with these guys. One main thing, we got to beat the Cardinals. And I think that kind of hurt us in the long run a little bit, but at the same time, it gave us something a little more to play about for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's why Dusty and Tony hated each other so much too, because they were always competing against each other. When Dusty was with the Cubs and Giants and Reds, those were all, the teams that the Cardinals were fighting every day, and Tony and Dusty had a history before that even. So, I think it goes back a long ways, and when you look at it now, I know Tony and Dusty have cordial conversations now, and they can look back and laugh at some of the things that happened. But there was some funny stuff that happened. There was definitely some intense rivalries. Y'all's Reds team, man, that was a tough team. One thing I always encourage our guys with throughout the years, as you pass the torch to the younger players, I say, hey, listen, since I've been a Cardinal, here's the way it's gone. When I first came up, it was Cardinals Cubs, and then it was Cardinals Reds, and then it was Cardinals Brewers, and then it was Cardinals Reds, and then it was Cardinals Pirates, and then it was Cardinals Brewers, and then it was Cardinals Red. Whatever it is, it's always been Cardinals and one other team in our division. We've always been one of those top two teams fighting. So I'm sure the whole division hates us just like y'all did. Todd, that's a good thing. That means you've been winning.
And Wayne, I know you've been with one team your whole career, but you've got a new squad coming up here, and you made a nice announcement for it too. WBC action coming up. How pumped are you? And also, I'm wondering, I'm the one non-player. Kratz can make jokes, but he played the bigs for a long time. Fan perspective is like, you're playing with the best of the best, especially this year's squad. Is there like a big group text? Are you talking to Trout and all these guys regularly now?
Not yet, and I've never met Mike before. And I'll tell you, that's one of the, I want to wear the red, white, and blue, and I want to wear that gold medal more than anything. But the other thing I'm really excited about is meeting these superstar players that I've never had a chance to bump shoulders with, and just figure out what makes them go, what makes them tick, what makes them be the superstar players that they actually are. Because everybody does something unique to make them big league players. Everybody does something unique in their preparation and their work and in their mindset. And I can't wait to have those conversations.
Wayno, obviously your last year, everyone knows about your old man walks, right? So when you're in Jupiter and you're in spring training, do you and Jenny, do you guys go for old man walks on the beach after you're pitching tomorrow, right? So do you go on old man walk on the beach? You take Jenny and the kid and say, all right, this is my walk. And then, whatever maybe you run into some stuff along the beach to film, because usually you film them or at least send pictures from it. And then last thing for me is the pitch clock. You got to love the pitch clock because you worked fast and you wouldn't change your motion. So will you change your motion on the time? Will you do something to mess with the hitters?
Okay, so first question was old man walks. Got it. The thing I've been doing this year so far is I've been going on old man bike rides after the day after I pitch, and we live right by the beach too. So I've been at night. I've been going out right as the sun's about to set. Been going out on the beach, taking my guitar. The girls go out and my son goes out and play on the beach and have a good time. And then I go out there, play a little music, and watch that sun start to set because, it's some cool stuff scientifically. When you see the sun start to set, the natural melatonin in your body set off, and you sleep better when that happens. So I've been trying to sleep better in spring training. But living down here in Jupiter, pretty close to the beach during this time of year, this is one of our favorite times of year. We love, love, love being down here. Second part was pitch clock. The pitch clock for me is not a tremendous deal. I will say I've pitched once with it. It's a little quicker than I thought it was going to be. Not so much during the at bat because, like you said, I like to pitch. I like to work fast. The quickness for me is between hitters and between innings because those are the times that I kind of like to, reset a little bit, take the deep breaths, and get my mind focused in the right place. And went out the other day for the first inning, no problem. Second inning, I go out, and you got to be done at 30 seconds with your warm-ups before the inning starts. Or they can yell at you, or I don't know. Angel was giving people balls the other day, but I don't know if it's a ball. I can't remember the rule on that. But then
you're right, Wayno. It is a ball.
Yeah, so I kind of I did my big breaths. I walked around the mound, spit my gum out where I always spit it out, where Kershaw hates it so much where I do it. And I look up, I'm taking my second deep breath, and I look up, and it's 4 seconds. So I walked right up the mound and kind of almost crow hopped into my pitch and made my first pitch, strike one. And I was thinking, okay, there it is. That just happened a little quicker than I want. So it's going to take a little bit of getting used to as far as between innings and between batters for me. I do think there is an advantage to be had if you can figure out how to use it to your advantage against the hitter a little bit as far as, if he steps out once, then I can play with that clock a little bit more after that. And then I can use that clock and wind it down sometimes all the way to 1. And sometimes I can pitch it 8 seconds. And, it just is, I do think there's going to be some gamesmanship there. I look forward to it. I'm probably going to get really good in that in September. So hopefully I figured it out faster than that. But what I really look forward to is talking with some of our prospects who are using the pitch clock last year. And apparently we have a couple guys who really mastered that and how to use it to their advantage. So I want to talk to our young guys, man. You never stop learning.
Wayno, we really appreciate you doing this, man. Good luck. Have a blast, WBC and all that. And also, you made some history with us today. We're on every damn day live all year long. This is AJ, Todd, Kratzy's first show. We had talked about you for a while. We need to get Wayno on to kick this thing off. So thank you.
Am I the first one?
You are number one, so we'll always remember this because we got a big guest list lined up over the next week, especially. I mean, we go week by week, so we're like Wayno's kicking it off. So you got another one in the books for everyone.
Perfect, dude. I like starting things off. Just send me half the proceeds, whatever you make.
We got you. Yeah, rev share all day, baby. And also, thanks for pulling over and all of that and being safe because Pierzynski's got DirecTV in his car instead of navigation. Fun fact, if you didn't know.
Wow. I believe that AJ's in the know of many things. He's got. I feel like he's one of those guys that has an opinion on most things, but most of the time he's informed on them. And I just don't understand that because if it's not on the Disney Channel for me, I really don't know what's going on in the world.
He's sitting in Orlando traffic driving to games, and that's where he's getting his info. So, Wayno, we appreciate it on the off day, man. Thank you so much for joining us, making a little history with us on Foul Territory and FT Live, and we'll see you in Jupiter probably. You going to a game or something?
I'll probably sneak down there. Maybe him and I can golf if he can get away.
There you go. I need some strokes.
Oh, come on. Oh, no. Best athletes, pitchers. Thanks, Wayno. I love you. You're the man.
All right,
Thanks,
see you, buddy.
Wayno.
Okay, talk to y'all later.
See you, bub. We did it.
Dude, he's the best.
That was awesome.